How are we doing, guys? How are we doing, guys? Frustrating again. QPR 2, Leeds 1, and it's another defeat. I was doing this live. Something we've not done before. Conor did one last week for Forest at away from home, the 4-2 defeat. Did a live reaction to it, and I'm just going to do one today as well. So, any problems with the sound at all, please comment down below. I'm just doing this in the usual conservatory today. Got the computer next to me just so I can read the comments. That's the only reason I'm filming from here, rather than the usual location of my Beckford house and backdrop. So, as you can sort of tell, a little bit under the weather, and that performance, wow, was not up to much, was it, today? I felt through it, sort of the first 20 minutes were absolutely shocking. I think the last time I've seen a sort of that unorganised, sort of first 20 minutes of a game, probably Blackburn away, in October, was just absolutely shocking. From sort of, we sort of got back into it. It's funny enough, it took them to score for us to get into this game. I think that's the thing. I think the worst thing again about it is it took them to score for us to even start playing. And it's just so frustrating. It's it's, what else can you say really? Concede the first goal. The first goal is just it's a penalty. It is a penalty really. Maybe it looked like it maybe wasn't inside the area, but you can't go diving in like that. No, Leaf Davis is still a young lad, but he really showed us an experience there. I think that was exactly what Jake Biswell wanted. Jake Biswell wasn't really going anywhere, and he gets a penalty. But even before that, Bailey Peacock-Farrell's had to make 3 really important saves to keep us in the game. I thought Bailey Peacock-Farrell was absolutely exceptional today. I have to say, I thought he kept us in the game for much of it. But by the way, guys, the comments down below, I'm going to go through those at the end or at some point, when it's a bit of a break on this. We're just going to do a quick review first of all, and then going to go through the comments, one by one, and just see what you guys are thinking. And I am seeing them as you flash through as well. So, yeah, the first save is it's one off Otte. He's cut in, he's gone for the near post. Bailey Peacock-Farrell's had to get that down there quickly. The 1-on-1 off Samuel as well. Another good save. And then obviously they got the goal. It's just so frustrating, and Jake Bidwell forced a good save as well off the corner, and it was just so disappointing that it took us until they got that goal for us to respond. We did sort of finish the game, the first half, quite well. Lewis Baker, we get the goal off Lewis Baker hitting a free kick. Should be a routine save for the keeper. He spilt it, and Apo Halm, to be fair to him, has reacted really well. He's got into his goal scoring position and he's got himself a goal, and it's an important goal as well. We sort of felt we got a little bit more control of it after that, but then the second half came. We made the change of Tom Pearce coming on for Apo Halm. I'm still not sure why Apo Halm came off. I've seen a couple of comments go through that Apo Halm was injured. I'm not sure if that was right or wrong, but I'm going to take your word for it, guys. Apo Halm was injured, and that was a massive blow on set pieces. Conor was saying during the game that we had that problem. You take off someone who's 6'7", 6'6", whatever Apo Halm is. We have that problem defending set pieces. No Pontus Jansson today. It's mostly 5'10", 5'11" players trying to defend against 6'2", 6'3" players, and that's never really going to end well. Obviously, Leif Davis had to go to the centre back. It just shows how much the squad's being stretched at the moment. It might seem downbeat, but I've still got confidence in this team this season. Don't get me wrong about that. I'm not going to say that I've lost all faith. That's definitely not the case. But I'm looking at sort of our reserve options, and they're not quite as good as what I thought they were, to be honest. I didn't expect us to win this game as such. Certainly when you see QPR did have quite a strong team out today, but maybe not the full strength team, but I think they had more senior players than we did. It's still disappointing to lose, but I felt we can just play better than that. Second half comes along, I can't really think of us doing anything. What did we do in that second half? I can't remember an attack. It was shocking. It was shocking, to be honest with you, that second half. I've just seen a quick comment off Quinn there. Oscar, where do we go from here? And I think, as the title to say, we've got to invest in January. It's absolutely simple as we've got to invest in January now. We've got to look at the wing options. Our only real winger who's going to take on a player, a fullback even, is Jack Clark. Jack Clark is still only 18. He's not ready. He's not ready to start games for me. He still doesn't really press the ball like I think Marcelo Bielsa wants him to. As Aidan Gandhi says there as well, as crossing is sometimes not quite at its best, but you expect that of Jack Clark. Jack Clark is an exceptional talent at his age, but we cannot be relying on him now. I think seeing the rooms of Steven Zuber, we've hopefully that is the exact type of player we need. You know, someone like a Steven Zuber coming in on the left hand side, allowing Pablo to move on to his right wing position, and just getting that balance back in the team as well. You know, I'm really worried that we're missing Calvin Phillips now for a couple of games. You know, we need that midfield anchor. He is so crucial to that team. You know, we're looking at probably the best team, possibly the best team in world football at the minute, Man City. How much they've struggled with their anchor, Fernandinho. Now, look, I'm not comparing Calvin Phillips to Fernandinho, but in terms of team role they play in the team, it's very similar. You need that aggressive holding midfielder in your team. You know, especially when you've got people like Matis Klick, Pablo Hernandez, all intelligent footballers. But off the ball, you need someone like Calvin Phillips who'll play that tactical foul, will play that lovely one-touch pass into the more creative players and just fits the system. And I think we've got a problem without Calvin Phillips at the moment. And it looks like Marcelo thinks Adam Forshaw's the solution. You know, he's given Adam Forshaw the chance to play in that position. It just hasn't happened. You know, at first I thought we looked okay. We were having plenty of possession of the ball. You know, in the first couple of games, Adam Forshaw playing that holding role, he looked fine. You know, I don't want to contradict myself. I do think Adam Forshaw at times this season has been excellent, but he is not a holding midfielder in any way, shape or form for me. You know, he's quite good at he's quite energetic in that lot, but he's not a holding midfielder. You know, he's not got that discipline to play that position, that strength, that aggression. And most of all, in possession of the ball, you know, he doesn't have that, you know, to play that sort of kind of role for me. You know, I think at the start of the season, you look at what we were doing at the start of the season. We were getting the ball from goalkeeper to the halfway line, or forwards in 4 or 5 passes. You know, now, or 4 or 5 touches, everything was so quick. It was a touch into Berardi, touch into Janssen, touch into Calvin Phillips away to Matis Klick. It was also it was simple, but it was so effective. It meant we built tempo, and it meant we just broke the press all the time. You know, I think the one thing teams like QPR wants to do is take 4 or 5 touches on the ball, you know, sideways, backwards. That's what they want us to do, and unfortunately, that's a trap we're falling into. You know, I'm not going to say after today that we've been poor the last couple of games. We haven't been poor, but we've not been at our best. You know, that's very clear to say the least. So yeah, it's frustrating from that point of view. But second half, I cannot really think of anything we did in that second half. It was a pretty shocking second half performance, you know. And Benny Peacock-Farrell makes an absolutely amazing save with Jordan Cousins. Jordan Cousins just completely and utterly takes Adam Forshaw and Lewis Baker out of the game. You know, I think as a midfield tandem, you know, it just didn't work, that one. Adam Forshaw, Lewis Baker, and yeah. Jake Bidwell header from a set piece. You know, I'm not to say QPR were brilliant in that second half themselves, but they were certainly better than us. You know, it certainly looks like they had more confidence than us. That was something that was very clear. And there's been, you know, I've been looking at Marcelo's, you know, recent press conferences, and he's been saying a lot about possibly dropping into a 4-2-3-1. And yeah, you know, but I think the 4-2-3-1, it's very important. You have a couple of elements for a 4-2-3-1. You know, you're certainly looking at your 2 holding midfielders in that system. You know, you need that big ball-winning player. You know, that player is going to be able to play the 1-touch, 2-touch, and just be the Mr. Reliable. And that's Calvin Phillips for me. And you need that more creative link in Matis Klick. But without those 2 available, well, certainly without Calvin Phillips available, I don't see how that's going to work. You know, I don't think, you know, Adam Forshaw, Matis Klick in the midfield tandem, I don't see that working myself. And then you look at the wing options as well. We haven't got wingers who can take the ball deep and drive forwards, other than Jack Clark. And that's sort of the problem with 4-2-3-1. You know, wingers are going to be naturally going to be deeper, you know, because they're going to be part of the midfield more than they are the forward line. They have to be willing to take that ball forward, and unfortunately, I don't think we've got that at the moment. You know, look, I'm not panicking, but I'm saying that we've still got to do stuff in January. There's still elements of this squad that needs to be improved. You know, there's no panic. You know, I still think this team has achieved unbelievable stuff. You know, it's top of the table, and we just had a poor cup defeat. That's the end of the story. You know, I mean, look at some of the teams that went out yesterday. There's teams in bigger problems than us at the minute, but we've got to sort of take the hint now, you know, and it's so important we get a winger and keeper. And I think if we get a winger and keeper, a solid keeper, and that's not saying Benny Peacock-Farrell wasn't good today. He was good today, but he's naturally inconsistent. You know, he has got that game in him where he can just make save after save after save after save after save. But can he do it consistently? I'm not sure. Is he good enough with his feet? Probably not for me. We've got to look at goalkeeper and winger. That's absolutely crucial. And certainly keep hold of all our current players. You know, that's not something that's been mentioned too much, but Kemaru's been linked with moves away. I'd be surprised if there isn't interest in Pontus Jansson, because Pontus Jansson has been absolutely exceptional all season, and he's the best centre-back in the league. And then you look at Calvin Phillips. Is someone going to be interested in Calvin Phillips? And we've got to keep we've got to make it a productive January, because to be honest with you, I can't remember the last time we've had a good January, and we've got to really take that hint. But yeah, in terms of the second half, there's not really much to talk about. There wasn't really enough to sort of to go off, but we certainly deserve to lose this game today. Absolutely no shadow of a doubt we deserve to lose this game today, and I hope it sort of we take the hint now that January has got to be a productive month. But I'm just going to go through some of your comments, so just going to go right from the top. Bear with me. So one off Tiger still there. I think Cooper is back anyway. I mean, Cooper's going to be a crucial one, for me. I think we do need. I think we need his leadership. I think he's been excellent all season. I don't think we should be. I still think we've got problems at the back, even with Liam Cooper coming back. But at least it does allow some players to move into their best positions. Luke Ayling can certainly move back to his right back position. We can possibly have someone else in the holding midfield role with Liam Cooper being back, and obviously Calvin Phillips come back from suspension as well is massive too. But I still think we have got problems at the back. I think it's not getting the protection it needs, that back four. Without Calvin Phillips in that role, and I think there is still a problem there. But that is certainly a boost. I think we do. I do feel a little bit calmer against Derby now, with Liam Cooper back in the team possibly than there was, and possibly a goalkeeper, possibly a winger. Look, we've got 5 days now until Derby. We might make some business. We might make some signings. We might look like making some signings, which is good. Paul Knowles, still think Hallam's a good shout. Don't want to rush Cooper back and get another injury. I mean, that's very true. It's a risk. It's first game back against Derby, against Jack Marriott, a pacey front man. It's going to be tough. That when you're coming back from injury, not entirely match fit, it's tough. Jack Marriott's going to be on it from that first minute. He's a top player. He's a Leeds fan. He's going to be desperate to make an impression because we've been linked with Jack Marriott as well. Factors like that have to come into play. But I think I would be starting Cooper. I don't think Apple Hallam's ready. I know he got himself the goal today. But he's probably not ready to start games for me. Certainly with Liam Cooper available. But look, that's just my opinion on that anyway. Tom Cudine, we can't win everyone, but we need to win this next game. For me, that is crucial. I think the next couple of games are going to be important. We're on 3 defeats in a row. We've only really played properly badly in one of them for me against QPR, and that was a cup game. So I hope the confidence isn't too badly gone from the team. Certainly for that second half against Forest, the team still believes in the system, still believes in what it's doing, and yeah, well, it is important we at least get something. We've got to stop the rot somewhat. It's teams like Wolves went through bad patches last season, but they stopped it quickly. They stopped the rot. They got themselves back into form quickly, and that's something we've got to do today. Got to do on Friday. We've got to do that. Not lose the game. So we lose that game, it's 4 defeats in a row. Teams are sort of closing the gap on us. It's looking difficult after that. It's certainly looking really difficult in terms of what we can do after that. But let's look at other comments. So, Craig Brook, not too bothered by a loss, can focus on the league, but needs to play better than we did today. That's exactly what I'd agree with. I think the most frustrating thing for me today was the performance rather than the result. If anything, I'm actually not that bothered that we've gone out of the cup. I think the last thing we needed was a cup run. Certainly when we've got injuries after injury after injury. But the performances are worry. We're going into training Monday, Tuesday, looking ahead to a massive game against Derby when the pressure's on already. Probably could have done with a better performance than that. Certainly off the people who look like playing again on Friday. People like Adam Forshaw, expected better off Adam Forshaw today. He's supposed to be an experienced guy in there. Luke Ayling, to be fair, had a decent enough game today at centre back, but we needed more than that off the people who look like starting against Derby. I think they certainly need to sort of make that claim to be in the starting 11 against Derby. I didn't feel we had that today. Let's have a look. Isaac Elmy, BPF phenomenal today. Have to agree with that. It's probably for me Bailey Peacock-Farrell's best game in the league shirt. He was incredibly unlucky to concede 2 goals. And he kept us in the game, to be honest with you. I think it could have been easily 4-1, 5-1 had it not been for Bailey Peacock-Farrell today. Let's have a look. I think it's Caleb Downs. Definitely need a winger, striker and defender. I have to agree with that. Certainly winger and... Well, yeah, I think winger striker is a key one. I think we do need someone who can play a variety of different positions. I have to agree, definitely on the winger. Defender, it depends on these sort of Barry Douglas being injured rumours. Pontus Jansson being potentially injured as well. I think I've heard. I'm not sure if that's true, by the way, but we certainly do need to definitely need to look at the squad as a whole. You can't rely on having the whole squad fit for the whole season. You have to have those different options, even if you don't really think they're good enough to start games. You've got to have the options there, to cover if necessary, and that's what we need to have. LUFC, will you do a match rating? Yep, I'll definitely be doing a match rating after this live vlog. Depcon, just hope we get some players in who aren't injured every 5 minutes. That's key as well. I cannot be bothered with us getting players who have got injury history. That's what we've done the last couple of signings. We just seem to bring in players who have just got injury problems. I don't know if it's the medical, I don't know what it is, but there's no point bringing in players if they've got any sort of real serious injury history. I've got a dodgy knee, dodgy leg, whatever. Just don't bother signing them. Because we need people who are just going to be available to us at the end of the day. I know Tyler Roberts, it was unfortunate what happened there, but he had a history of injuries before coming to us. If he's injured all the time, it does seem a bit pointless. That's not me having to go at Tyler Roberts, that's just an example. Adam Forshaw as well. There's no point signing them if they're not available to us. That's the top and bottom of it, really. So look. Quinn, what are your thoughts on the players we're being linked with? Carl Darlow, etc. He seems quite promising. Sorry, polarising. I think it's so key we get someone with experience in it, goalkeeper, or someone who's good with his feet. One of those two attributes for me. Carl Darlow, I think, does certainly fit the bill in terms of experience, and I'd be happy with Carl Darlow. I'm not a massive Carl Darlow fan, but I think it would be an improvement on what we've got at the minute. It would be another option, which is so key. And it put a little bit more pressure on Bailey Peacock-Farrell, or it would give us an option to drop Bailey Peacock-Farrell. So, for me, that's decent. I certainly think Steven Zuber would be a super signing for us, a real statement of intent, a real signing that you think the top teams at this level try and make, a real statement signing, I think. I think it's one of those signings that would have a good impact on the whole team. Just seen LUFC say, I want Westwood. I have to agree with that. Westwood would probably be my first choice. I think he fits absolutely everything we need. Experience, shot stopper, commanding, good with his feet, just fits every single what we need as well. And I think he's a potential captain as well for Kieran Westwood if he signed for us. He would be massive. But is that going to happen, or is it not going to happen? There's been rumours about Kieran Westwood, but Steve Bruce has just got that Sheffield Wednesday job. It's going to be difficult to get that one, I think. And I don't know how much would Westwood be. Well, I think Westwood's in his last 6 months of his deal. That was off LUFC. So maybe it would be cheaper, but would Sheffield Wednesday sell to a rival? Would Sheffield Wednesday help us out? I don't know. I'd be surprised if Steve Bruce would help us out in any way, shape or form. That's just my opinion on that. Did Clark cope with the full 90 minutes? I'll be honest, I'm not sure. Look, he didn't have any service today. Something that was very clear to me today, and something Conor's definitely going to touch on in this review, is the midfield tandem did not work today. Adam Forshaw, Lewis Baker did not work at all today. They didn't stop attacks, didn't protect the back four, didn't start attacks, didn't pass the ball well, didn't build any momentum. It was just frustrating, really, watching those two. There was nothing. I didn't feel there was anything off either of them today, and it's really disappointing. They were the two players I was looking at and thinking, they should do better. They should be doing better. And to be honest, it just didn't happen for them today. Didn't pass the ball well, just didn't start anything, and it made it more difficult for Jack Clark, Tyler Roberts, and Ejman Alioski. They had no service at all. They weren't getting the ball fed into them in dangerous positions. So it's hard to be critical of Jack Clark today. I don't think he had his best of games today. I don't think he was poor, but I think he should be more of a super sub. I definitely agree with that off LUFC. I think he is a promising player, but I don't think he's quite yet ready to be a regular starter, for a team that's challenging for promotion, which we are at the end of the day. We've got to really step up our standards in terms of players we bring in. And Jack Clark in the future is going to be a massive player. Hopefully for this football club, well, whatever, he's going to be a massive player. But I don't think he's quite ready yet. He's still only 18. We need to give him chances. Ollie123, what did you think of Harrison, the striker? It didn't happen for Jack Harrison today. I think that was more down to you know, with the service he got, it was absolutely terrible. You know, it's frustrating. LUFC, LUFC, that'd be the exact two signings I'd go for. Steven Zuber and Kieran Westwood. I think that would make us take us to the next level, definitely. You know, I'm not going to make a big statement say that we'll definitely go up with those two signings, but that will give us a much better chance than we have at the minute. You know, I'm not saying we've got no chance at the minute, but we need players like that in this team at the minute. We need players who are going to take us to that next level. Scott Lightning said, why are people complaining today about the younger lads? Janssen, Cooper, Berardi, Douglas Hernandez, Phillips, Click, Izzy Brown, Bamford, Roofout. What are people expecting? That's a fair shout. You know, I feel like I maybe have been a little bit too critical. You know, it's probably the most downbeat sort of post-match we've done so far this season. But you know, yeah, it's a fair shout. You know, I don't think any of the young lads were especially disappointing. For me, the most disappointing players on the pitch were Lewis Baker, Adam Forshaw. I expected so much more of them. I don't think any of the young lads did particularly badly. You know, I like to think I haven't been too critical of them. I just felt they didn't really state their claim to be regular starters in the team at the minute. But they all look promising. You know, I think Apo Hallam looks a promising player. I just don't think he's quite ready yet to be a starter at league level. You know, I think he probably did show that at times today. Joe Farmery, no way he would get Westwood. You know, I think it's a fair shout. You know, I think it has been ambitious that, you know, it's hoping for a favour off Steve Bruce, which is ambitious to say the least. You know, I don't think, you know, I think Wednesday might still have outside hopes of possibly the top six. You know, it's quite an open championship this season. So would they do us a favour? I doubt it. You know, in the situation where Wednesday are in, they're on a decent run of form. We've got a new manager in, new manager bounce. I think, I don't think we're going to get a deal through. You know, there's been rumours of Fabry as well from Fulham. I've not seen enough of Fabry really to comment, but apparently he's supposedly good for his feet, his experience, he's 31. Fulham had a good look at him in the summer and signed him. Maybe that's going to be a good signing. I don't know. Will we get that one over the line on loan? Let's wait and see. But Philip Millions made a good comment there as well. Sorry, Philip Millions. Sorry, eyes have gone a bit. Both Norwich and Leeds are out of the cup. Clear that both teams are concentrating on the league. You know, I think. I think both would rather us be out than in. To be honest with you, out of the cup than in the cup. You know, it's just a distraction. If we're being honest with you, I can't think of any sort of time in recent years where the cup run has helped a team at this level. You know, I just don't think it does. You know, how far realistically can a championship team go in the cup? You know, in the situation we're in, I'm really not bothered about being out of the cup. If I'm being honest, you know, I never want us to lose a game. You know, I don't think anyone at this football club wants us to lose a game, but that's just the way it is. You know, it's and I think the most worrying aspect of anything is 3 defeats in a row. You know, we've just got to stop that rot against Derby now. 4 defeats in a row, then going into a game against Stoke, away from home. I don't fancy that at all. One off Bremner's blog as well. Make sure you check out Bremner's blog. I'm absolutely a massive fan of that. I've read a couple of pieces by him. Make sure you check that out. I'm sure, I was trying to think it was the most recent one I've read, but very, very big fan of Bremner's blog. Oscar, how many players do you think we'll actually bring in? I don't know, to be honest, mate. I don't have a clue. It's going to be really, really tough, you know. But Bremner's blog, as I was saying, is literally, as it says on the tin, it's a blog about current issues with Leeds. I'm not sure if he's done anything the last couple of days, but I do quite regularly read that, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, how many players are we going to bring in? I think we certainly need 2. You know, I think we definitely need 2 signings. That's something to say the least. But how many will we get? I think I'd like to think we'll at least get a goalkeeper. Absolutely have to get a goalkeeper. So I think at least 1. Last winter the team surprised me as well. You know, I didn't think for 1 minute we'd get 3 signs. I think I'm not saying any of them were any good. We got Lawrence de Bock, Adam Forshaw, Tyler Roberts, and we spent 8 million last January. So I can't predict anything with Leeds at the minute. But I do think we need to be spending things like that again. Sort of looking at 7-8 million, 2 quality players, goalkeeper, winger. And I think we'll be okay. But I certainly think we'll get 1 signing in. Jaggy Babs Bielsa are out. I'm sure that is tongue in cheek. But let's have a look. Let's try and go through the comments. Super Leeds, Oscar, there is a man living in your garage. I'd like to think not. I'd like to think there isn't there, but I don't know, there might be. Arjun Juhal, as a Leeds fan, which other team are you most concerned about? Holgate is a great signing for West Bromwich Albion at the Baggies. I actually agree, that's a brilliant sign off West Brom. That, you know, I'm a massive Mason Holgate fan. I think he should probably play more, more for Everton, and I like him at our place as well. But yeah, they're definitely a concern. I think Villa are a concern as well. You know, they've got January. They do use January quite a lot. You know, I think they like to. If they're in for a chance at all, they will spend. And to be fair, I've no problem with that. You know, I'm not complaining about that. You know, fair play to them. If they can do it, they can do it, and they are going to do it. So it's a real problem. I've just seen one off far from Fangio, Marriot Lemina. Now that has caused a lot of talk. That yeah, it's I've just seen while the tag is still there. I'm in your garage. You've got good Wi-Fi. But yeah, Mario Lemina. There's been a lot of discussion about that. You know, with Salim making the putting that tweet out the other day, quoting about how, you know, good a player Mario Lemina was, and how much, you know, Mario Lemina, you know, respected Marcelo Bielsa. That would be an interesting one. But that's the kind we need. You know, we need that kind of signing for me. But yeah, it's I can't see it, to be honest with you. I can't see that one going through. I think we'd have to get to Premier League level to make that one go through, because he's a good Premier League player as well, Mario Lemina. So he's incredibly ambitious. That. But again, I don't expect us to get Steven Zuber. So if we can get someone like Steven Zuber, we can get someone like Mario Lemina as well. But it's just, yeah, you know, I think it's pie. I think it probably is pie in the sky, that one. I think I can see where the rumour has come from. He's a quality player, but I can't see that one, if I'm being honest. Let's have a look. And Philip Million, another interesting one. Luke Freeman will be class. I was very impressed by Luke Freeman today. I think I've been impressed by him for years. He would be a really good player in this team. You know, he could play anywhere in this team. He could play in the middle alongside Matthews Click. He could play out wide. He could play on the right or left. He'd be a top player in this team. You know, lovely left foot, set pieces. That's what we need. Someone like that, a game-changing player who can play out wide, play in the middle, just a bit more creative. You know, we need more creativity from out wide for me, and I think he'd slot in quite well on the left-hand side as a, you know, as a left winger as such, or possibly through the middle. Just going through the last few comments. LUFC. How much do we have to spend? That's a tough one. You know, in terms of how much I think we need to spend, you know, it's not necessarily about how much we spend. We could get two brilliant players in on loan. I don't care. Just two players who are quality. You know, I don't think it's necessarily about how much we spend, but for me, I think to get what we need permanently, we probably have to look at sort of a ballpark figure of over 5 million. You know, certainly needs to be looking to spend over 5 million for me. But yeah, it'd be a. I'd guess. I'd like to think we'll spend about 6-7 million bringing in quality players, but if we bring in quality players without spending loads of money, I don't care. You know, it doesn't really bother me too much. You know, last summer of 2017, I think we spent about 16-17 million, and I think we only really got one good signing out of it. We spent 8 million in January, and I don't think anything really good came of that. I don't think anything too game-changing has come off that. I think Tyler Robertson is a promising player, but he's not really made that impact I think the board expects them to make. And that's not Tyler Robertson's fault as such. You know, he's had the injuries. He's not been able to play in his best position. You know, but yeah, it's an interesting one. You know, I think it's a big debate, that one. And another interesting comment coming through there, just come through. Siraj Aziz, we don't spend now, we won't get a chance like this for another 10 years. I have to agree. You know, it's very similar to the summer of the winter of 2011, the winter of 2017. We didn't spend then, and it costs us. You know, it's relying on the starting 11 too much. You know, you have to build a squad. Any top team has to build a squad, and we've got to do that. Super Leeds, I think it's now or never. have to agree with that. I think you can't rely on. What we've done this season is pretty incredible with the resources we've got. Considering everything changed in the summer, to be top of the table, is it going to happen again? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It's going to be difficult for that to ever happen again. Certainly in the next couple of years. So it's a big chance this season. It's a big chance. We've got to take it, or at least got to show the ambition to take the chance. And that's what I want to see off us. That's why I've done the title. We need to invest in January. We need to invest in January. Last comment, longest 90. How did BPF play today? And that's going to finish off what I've this review. My man of the match today, Baby got foul. Absolutely superb performance today. And for me, he was man of the match today. So for me, longest 90, I'd say BPF was man of the match today. I've been critical the last couple of weeks, but he kept us in the game today. But that shouldn't take away from the fact we still need another keeper. It's too much pressure expecting Baby got foul to start every game. He needs to. For me, yeah, I'd say he needs to just see one off more Jesus Oscar chin up. I know this is really downbeat this today. I think it's more the performance and the result. The results, to be fair, I'm not that bothered about. But I don't know. I just think the Callum Phillips suspension's got me down a bit. The rumours of Barry Douglas, Pontus Janssen potentially being out as well. That sort of got me down a bit. But yeah, for me, man of the match today is Baby got foul. I can't think of anyone else who stood out today. But that's my opinion on the game anyway. Thanks so much for your comments, guys. Make sure you check out Conor's review of the game and Joe's review of the game, and I'll be doing player ratings as well straight after this video. I've been Oscar Marriott. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you later.